Good morning, good morning. How is everybody? Just getting on early. Trying to wake up a little bit here. Posting these to some of the groups that I think that they can be posted to. Again, I always say this, if there's groups here that I posted to that I don't allow it, please feel free to message me and tell me to stop. I'm not here to upset anybody. And I'm not here to break any group rules. Let me see here. Let me see. Excuse me. That's what I need. This is it. This is it. So how was everybody's weekend? I hope it was good. I hope you enjoyed everything about your weekend. What was our card yesterday? I think we had Preserver, the Woman of Worlds. Were we able to preserve our space? Good morning, Stephen David Olson. I see that good morning there. Hey, Soph. Hi, Liz Kevin Brown. Hello, Dad. I was like, do I have a child I don't know about? Shoot to reach. Okay, let's see how that works. We're going to post that there. That should be good. Awesome, Nancy. I have one of the dogs that's licking my feet right now, just to make sure they're very clean. I think she thinks she's Jesus. And I'm having coffee too. Been a bit of a morning already. I've been up and down out of bed since 1:20 this morning. I don't really know what's going on with my sleep patterns. I haven't been able to sleep very well lately. I'm not sure why that is. It's kind of a bit driving me crazy. Good morning, Belen. Good morning, Karen. So that's been difficult. It's highly frustrating when you're tired and you want to sleep, but you're not really able to. Let's just say that. I feel like my mind is wanting to do other things, or I'm not even sure if it's my mind at this point. I'm not sure that like Spirit wants me up at odd hours of the night. It doesn't help that because of this lack of sleep, I'm tired by like 8:30, 9 o'clock. And last night, I think I went to bed about 9:30. So it wasn't like abnormally early or late or anything like that, but I was up again at 1:20 and then up probably like every hour after that. So it's just kind of like, I'm over it. I don't know. I'm trying to not be in resistance to it. I meditated last night before bed. I meditated this morning, and I'm still not quite sure why it is that I'm being woken up. And sometimes in the really late evening, like the really early morning, I guess I should say. Good morning, Carol. And Stephen, you should be able to watch me live on YouTube. I'm on the YouTube now. I know that some people are commenting. I know that some mornings, like in the early morning, it feels like my third chakra is like vibrating, like my stomach area. It's like going, I don't know what that's about. I mean, I've tried to like get quiet. At first, I thought it was just fear and anxiety, and I think it might be partially of some sort. But I'm trying to figure out what I'm fearful of at like 3 in the morning when I'm dead asleep. Like, what is waking me up in so much fear? So hopefully that will become clearer to me, and hopefully that will stop. We will see. But yeah, so let's get to today's. I also woke up with a bit of a brutal headache this morning. The coffee is helping a little bit. So um, let's look at what we've got going on this week. Excuse me for yawning. Like I said, I was up and down all night. It's Sunday, the 7th of April. So we're going to take the way that I work on Sundays is I do 3 cards. Each card represents, a certain portion of the week coming up, Sunday to Saturday. So each card, since there's multiple people in both groups here on YouTube and here on Facebook, I kind of, with the intention of shuffling, I place myself in that intention, but I also place you guys in that intention, and anybody that may come across this video, if you like, share, and post it in other places, please do so. I appreciate it. For both platforms, like YouTube, please like and share, subscribe, comment, all of those sort of things. I'm not exactly sure how YouTube works in that way. I know that a lot of you guys leave chat comments, but I think that there's also a comment thing below. You can ask me any questions there. If you need to get in touch with me personally and straightforward about information about booking a reading, all of that is pinned to the post on the Facebook post, but it's also now in the About section of the YouTube channel. So if you look at my About section, you can find my links to my Facebook business page and stuff. That's the best place to reach me. Okay, so good morning, Jessica Barron. Or is it Boran? Boran? Sorry, and my eyes kind of not great. Okay, so let's get started for the week of April 7th through the 13th. Give me one moment. Okay, guys, so April 7th through the 13th feels a little bit heavier than last week's shuffle for sure. Feels like there's a lot to deal with maybe this week. We might have multiple things that we're working on and trying to get accomplished. And it feels like there might be a lot of resistance around those things. So there might be some sort of, I wouldn't say frustration necessarily, but annoyance is a good word. Just some struggle. It might be a little bit of a struggle last week for some of us. Only because when I was pushing the cards together, they were feeling sort of heavy and sticky, like they didn't really want to come together. So we might find things getting in our way or, pissing us off, annoying us a little bit. But that's to be expected. Not everything goes our way all the time. So we have to kind of roll with that and see where that takes us, see what that teaches us, see how we can learn to adapt and change our energy towards it. So it just felt a little bit like heavy. Also, the word fastidious came across in my mind, and I don't know why, but maybe, we might get too caught up in the sort of, I don't know, like the details of how we think it's supposed to go versus how it's actually going, and that might cause some of the discomfort or stress that we may be experiencing during this week, or the frustration, the resistance that we have to face this week. So the first card that we've got is the Hanged Man. Okay. Let's just show you guys this card. It's not like the brightest and sunniest of images. To me, it looks like a decision needs to be made early on in the week. It might be a decision that we've been hanging on to for a while and putting off for a while, is the feeling that I get. Some of us might find ourselves feeling like today, tomorrow, maybe even a Tuesday, feeling a little stuck. Hence the hanged man. It's kind of like caught between two different choices or two different decisions, or maybe three, even for that matter, but feeling a little bit stuck. I also feel like there could be some people that are dealing with some highly emotional issues with sort of loved ones, um, things that might be plaguing you and that you feel like you have no control over, people that you care about and that are in positions that are painful for you to sort of watch and support. And the reason why I say that is I feel like there's this hand holding this face here, like it's like you're trying to support this loved one, but it's from afar, or you might need to make it from afar to keep your own sanity and keep your own stuff straight early in the week. So if you do find yourself dealing with some sort of, I almost feel like this is like a long-term problem, something that wait. Yep, again, Dan, Dan, put that card back. Okay, I'm not sure. Janice is saying something over there, but she'll explain to me later. But it feels like there's sort of been a long struggle with some of whatever this is going on here. And it might, sort of be coming to some sort of decision that's needing to be made. Now, if this is not about another person that we care a lot about, it could be about ourselves and a decision that we need to make that's kind of important, a decision that we need to kind of get clear on and sort of unhang ourselves in a way. And I feel like when I look at this card, guys, I feel like it's it has the potential to be a little bit of a risky situation. I'm going to be honest with you. Like if you're not careful about how you go about making the decision, you could be setting yourself up for future heartache, or for this other person, if it is about another person in your life and their decision that they need to make around themselves. Stepping back and allowing them the opportunity to sort of either fall or make the wrong decision might be the safest thing for you in this process, if that makes sense, because it looks messy to me. Like I don't want to say it just looks like it's a lot of drama, and it's like a lot of swirling into a tornado and all of that. And I know all about tornado drama lately. I mean, so I've been caught in my head, and this could be just us in our heads, stuck in, oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? But this could also very much signify a loved one, and what are they going to do? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? And we almost take on their pain and their problems and their decisions as our own, and we get sort of sucked into that vortex too. So be aware of that. Like I said, these three cards represent for the entirety of the week, in the sense that this might be the energy for the first couple of days of the week. And for some of those, some of you watching, you might not even have any experience with this at all. These cards are intended to sort of reach the group and anybody who may see this video after you like, share, comment, and subscribe. That's you, whoever hasn't done it yet. The intention is for those that come across this video maybe later in the day even to watch it, and maybe it has some meaning for them or some sort of insight for them or some sort of support for them. I do think that the Hanged Man, in essence, is a good card because it forces us to make the decision that we need. It forces us to believe in ourselves. It forces us to trust our intuition or our judgment, our discernment, and kind of, for lack of a better term, shit or get off the pot. And so I think that's going to be what the first few days of this week might be for some of us. So let's go to the midweek card and see what that is. Interesting. This card showed up midweek last week. Let me just double check that on the calendar. Yeah, it was our Wednesday card of last week. It's the Ace of Crystals again, which is brilliance. Okay, so the way that I'm going to read this in conjunction with this Hanged Man card is, to me, the Hanged Man feels sort of stuck, trapped between 2, 3, maybe 4 ideas of what would be the best situation here for myself or for this loved one, or how do we fix this? How do we solve this for them? by say like midweek, and this could start like, I mean, some of you, this may go like, you might have this decision today, Sunday, and Monday, and then this brilliance card could kick in on Tuesday, or for some of you, it might be as late as Wednesday. But this brilliance card, it being the Ace of Crystals, again, it's about thinking outside of the box, thinking with our own individual sort of skill set that like we've been given or honed or learned over our lifetime that kind of make us who we are. It really is our opportunity to shine. And I think that this is around shining around the mind. It's a crystals card. So our thinking is going to really serve us by midweek. If that means that it has some sort of thinking or new way of approaching this sort of hanged man situation, great. That might give us some freedom to sort of get either some space from this decision or some clarity around this decision and really move forward, especially if this decision is about us. And it also, I think that this brilliance card says to me too, that like there is going to be some like creative ideas that might come out of this, the things that we didn't really see or expect. And we're like, oh, wow, that's awesome. Let's do this kind of thing. So I feel like there's an opportunity here. I also want to just notice too, hold these cards up once again. The Hanged Man, see how he's all sort of blue and kind of not, it's sort of somber colors. This brilliance card warms up. There's these oranges, these reds, these purples. I mean, there's still a little darkness up here in the corner and stuff. So we're still sort of like sorting through a little bit of that confusion or a little bit of that like fog that we may have. But these bursting forth ideas, these crystals here are definitely showing us that we're going to come to some sort of answer by the midweek. We're going to have some sort of clarity, some sort of brilliance about ourselves and an awareness of ourselves mentally that's going to help us to sort of maybe push beyond whatever it was that we were dealing with in the beginning of the week, whether it was our own or if it was somebody else's issues. Does that make sense? Karen Albana says, I'm so sick of drama. Girlfriend, we all are. I know. But the thing is what I want to say about this Hanged Man card, if it is drama, if it is a choice that you need to make, then that's not really drama. That's just sort of personal choices that you need to make. But if this is in relation to somebody that you love or somebody that you care about who's maybe throwing their life away or making wrong choices or living on the edge in a way that you don't see fit, this is about you sort of loving them from afar and making the decision to have clear boundaries and allowing them their process, even if you don't agree with it. So there's not really drama there. It's their drama. If they're hurting themselves or harming themselves or making poor choices, you're just going to have to step back and let them. And there's still love and support coming from that place. And this is what this brilliance card says to me too. You're going to, I don't know, how do I want to say it? Like be in more acceptance of them being who they are and allowing them to sort of just, if they need to flush their lives down the toilet for the minute, let them. You kind of have to do it because sometimes we have to reach our bottom before we can bounce back to the top. And so there might be some of that. And so I feel like this brilliance card to me, regardless of whether or not this choice in the hangman is about us personally or about someone we love, there is this opportunity by midweek to sort of be free of that and allowing that to not rule us, okay? And allowing us to sort of move on to other bigger, brighter, better, brilliant things, okay? So, and the final card for the end of the week. Interesting. Some of y'all are dealing with some messy relatives or boyfriends or partners or husbands or that's my feeling on these cards this week. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. By a show of hands, if y'all want to give like the hand signal, like me, it feels like the focus this week is not necessarily on ourselves, but on others and their issues. And some of their issues might be rather big. So like I'm saying, with this brilliance card and this new way of thinking that will come into midweek, By weekend, what we've got the Hierophant, and the Hierophant is also a major arcana, so it's the Hanged Man. So it means that there's going to be a lot of energy starting off in the beginning of the week. Major arcana always packs a bigger punch, let's say. So it's going to maybe feel a little bit more emotional, a little bit more intense, a little bit more in your face. This Brilliance card is an Ace of Crystals card, which is a high crystals card, which means it's got its own little punch, but it feels a little bit less like overwhelming or whatever. And it's also a little bit freeing and a little bit like more stabilizing in a way. It's giving us this opportunity to open up our mind, think differently, and get into what's good for us, you know, and if that's drawing boundaries, if that's creating new ideas of how to tackle problems, these are good things, right? This Hierophant card by the weekend, let's say starting maybe Thursday, Friday, maybe even as late as Saturday, for some of us, Hierophant is like is a silent teacher in my book, in the way that I look at it. Hierophant is, if you look at this, like they know what they know. See, they're standing right here. Like I see this is all of us, right? We know what we know. Let me show that to Facebook too, right? And they see the moon. That moon is that like intuitive knowledge. And then we have this like there's this like structure around the Hierophant. And this to me is a very strong boundary that has been put in place. A very strong awareness of allowing all of this chaos and all of this other stuff around us to be around us, but just be able to stand clear in our knowledge and our intuition and our awareness of what's going on, right? And not necessarily get sucked into it, not necessarily be thrown around by it. It's a sort of a position of power in a sense, because it allows us to sort of have our knowledge, which there in the Hierophant card, I believe there's a vast amount of knowledge, and Hierophant is always like sort of the spiritual teacher or you know, some sort of a teacher. So I feel like either this could be read in two different ways. Either we come across by the end of the weekend over a teacher, like we come across a teacher that's going to help us through some of this, or help us maybe refine this brilliance that we have in the midweek that sort of feels a little bit like, and help us sort of tone it down, ground it, and really use it to our advantage. Or we are going to put ourselves into this position and really use and think from that place of that different way of thinking, and allow ourselves to have a safe space where the funny thing is when I look at all three of these cards, it feels like, you know, y'all are having problems with significant others. And this Hierophant card says to me, like, you finally get the position to sort of back up and be like, okay, honey, you know what? I love you, but I'm going to love you from over here where I know what I know and you can do what you do. And when you're ready to figure it out, come find me, kind of thing. And then I will assess and make sure I'm ready to deal with you and your stuff again. That's really like kind of where I'm feeling this is going on a more personal level. For some of you in this group, it may not be all of you, but for some of you in this group, there might be some of that going on. But so I would say by the end of the weekend, it would feel more grounded. It would feel more by weekend time, let's say not by the end of the weekend, but by the weekend, things are going to feel a little bit more grounded, a little bit more centered, a little bit more protected. You're going to feel a little bit more in charge, but not with like an ego in charge, if that makes sense. Like the Hierophant's not some out there trying to like push their dogma or anything like that. It's just sort of, it's almost like a silent knowing of, okay, that's what's going on and I'm not up for this right now, you know? So that is, how do I want to say this? It's sort of like retreating, but not retreating in a vulnerable way. It's sort of like retreating in a self-preserving way, in a way that allows you to have your information and your knowledge and to keep it intact and to operate from it without allowing the environment or others that we care about in our lives to sort of affect it, knock us off of our center, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so I'm going to write these cards down for today, just so that we can refer back to them in the readings to come and see how we do this week and see if any of these themes show back up, or see if we as a collective, those of us that are tuning in or those of us that may watch these videos later, see if we actually, induce some sort of change by how we choose to act and how we choose to face our week. Okay, I hope this brought insight and some hope. Like if the next few days are a bit of a struggle bus, don't worry, they're supposed to be. I have a feeling that some of these few days for some of you might be a struggle bus for somebody you care about, not so much for you. But because we care about them, sometimes we get caught up in their issues and want to fix them for them, but we can't always. It's theirs to fix. So maybe we will figure that out by midweek, and we will certainly have that rock solid by the weekend in this Hierophant card, okay? And that might be the case for our own selves too, where we start off the week a little bit like all over the place. What do I do? Which decision do I make? Oh my God. And then there's going to be that lightning bolt of inspiration. Keep an eye out for it. And then you'll go into the weekend a little bit more calm and a little bit more self-assured would be a good one in what you know and who you are and what you're capable of. All right, you guys, thank you for tuning in. Please like and share the videos. Subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't. All that information is in the posts on Facebook, and all my contact Facebook information is in the About page on YouTube. So, and all my little YouTubers, if you guys know how to like and share this and comment and do all that stuff on YouTube, if you could please do that, because I'm still a novice at it and not sure where I'm supposed to be sharing this stuff via YouTube. All right, you guys, have a great Sunday. I'm off to do a reading. And again, if you guys want to book personal readings, feel free to contact me directly. All that information on YouTube is in the About Me page, and on Facebook is pinned to this video. All right, take care. Have a good morning. And we'll see how the week goes. All right, bye.